Hey everyone, how are you all? I hope everyone is doing well. And first of all, Happy New Year 2024. So this time I am going to explain the CG comping aspect. Not only the CG comping aspect, I'll be explaining all the things behind every comping of CG. It's like how we lit up a scene, how what particular the way the passes should be, and how you can easily form your scene and everything in depth. So basically this is going to be you know a little different tutorial which will be in certain parts, like one, two, or three parts will be there. So the first part I'll be explaining inside, which will be the 3D aspect. So how we actually build a scene and how we make something good in look, and obviously the lighting. So basically I'll be explaining all the setup step by step, and I'll be ending up the tutorial I think part 3 or 4. So that will be the how we do the comping and how we actually maintain the look of the particular scene, right? So let's jump in with the scene and let's see how we do it. Okay, so you can see here is my scene that I have built with this definitely this pixel bridge elements. I have used it for for all these trees and all these ferns and all this kind of plants and things. And for the character here, you can see I got some animation of camera. All right, so let me just play for it and see. This is something like that. Okay. The character that I am using here, which is also free. If you go to the Mixamo, you will be having this character free and the animation also. So I have downloaded it from that Mixamo uh, of Adobe. Right now Mixamo is under Adobe, so you can go and get that particular stuff here. Right, so you can see this is what my scene looks like. Okay, I'm just playing it with high quality realistic, right? But before this particular scene, I actually did something else. So I used this scene to be rendered out because I use this particular character as a dummy object just to check out how the scene is looks and how the particular lighting is looking and all. And then after I decided let's jump with something character like a mysterious character, and with some camera movement. But yeah, one more thing, this scene is not end yet because I want to put something here, you know, to just make something to very mysterious. Okay, because there is no subject, to approach. So this particular character is approaching something. So here is nothing that you can see. So basically, the composition is not done yet. But somehow I managed to uh, you know get time for the particular tutorial. So let's see how we actually build it up. So basically I use this bridge or quixel things where you can find out everything, every asset that I have used here, like trees. And also if you go to like 3D plants, you will get all the plants that you can see here. So I use this kind of plants, I use this kind of plants and all. And if you go to the divisions here, or you can go for surfaces. Surfaces are basically the material that I have used here for the water and stuffs. And definitely you go for the 3D assets, you do have nature, interior, a lot of things. So you have I do have this rock stuff here. So you can see here is some rocks, here is something like that. So I do think I use this one, I use this one, something like that. All right. So you just get these things and assemble all the things right now. and get into the lighting stuff basically, because the all the textures and all everything will be there automatically. The next thing that I used was this property, Arnold property, because I'm rendering this one with the Arnold engine. So here you can see I use some displacement because that will be very much natural. All right, I do have a render of this particular scene, not this one. Basically, I didn't finish this up, so I didn't render this part. I rendered up this one actually. Okay, so the thing is same. The scene is same, but here I got some mysterious camera movement and a character. But here I actually had a you know um, sort of a still camera and some dummy objects, just to make sure what to do and how the light should be there and all like that. All right, so let's see how I did it. So let's press P. One more thing, that I have used Max, because at that point while I was working on this particular scene, Maya has a different kind of issues with the bridge. While the bridge it was failed to export to the Maya. I don't know why, but somehow it was not working. So I used Max for that particular scene. All right. So as you can see, I have some sort of you know scene. It's not so huge scene, but it's, yeah, definitely it's a huge. It's a big scene, but not a huge scene actually. You can see the grid size and all. This is kind of okay. All right. So what I used is, I used this kind of lighting, which is the area light, and I'm not going to explain all the light system and all. I'm not going to do the lighting here. So that will be another tutorial. If you want to, you just comment down below, so I'll be doing some lighting tutorial as well on that particular sort. So here I am using the Arnold. So I am using the Arnold light, which is the area light coordinating, right? So I use some temperature and colors and sort of stuff. Here you can see I got some sky dome light, okay, just to get a proper, ambient sort of stuff, right? So this is how my light setup was. So one key light, another key light. Then I use for like fill lights here. Here I use some sort of fill light or off-screen lighting. All right, and this is our overall off-screen lighting. I can say it's like our environment overall fill light, I can say, and a specific light for this particular character over there, just to make it highlighted, something like that. So that is depending upon the look dev, how you wanted to have the scene to be looked. Okay, so this is sort of my scene. I did use this kind of branches to just create a proper shadow. Yes, there is another one or two ways to create a gobo light kind of stuff, but I find it friendly to just make how you wanna make it look like. So, and yeah, definitely it was not that so heavy, so I used it. But yes, this is foolish way to sort of generate a shadow for it's kind of like I did a gobo lighting like that, but this is a sort of foolish way to do. But yeah, definitely you can try another ways, not an issue. The next stuff is how I actually ended up calculating those passes. So Max and Maya right now having a particular way to assign passes, right? So if you go to this AOV in inside of 3ds Max, and definitely the Maya also having the same kind of feature. All right, so here I do have two things here. One is like AOV light group manager, another is like output variables manager, right? If you go for this one and if you go for this one, both are looking something like this, right? So what I did actually, you can use no any of them, during compiling all these things, right? So basic things are here, which is like output variables, which is AOV, the arbitrary output variables. There are some preset kind of stuff you can see here, which is a main. As you can see, this is what we'll be getting. You have direct, indirect, you have add ones. Okay, so sort of like a it's a list of passes that you can use or for your scene, right? And here is something called a AOV wizard, which is kind of a preset where you can just assign what to do or not, like that. Okay, AOV files are also there. What kind of file you wanna export, EXR or something like that. So you can also go here and you just say, okay, this will be my JPEG and that will be my EXR, something like that. You can do also. Here is a thing which is called manage light group, which is, by the way, this one, right? So now what you can do, so basically it shows all the different lights that you have here, and you can assign sort of passes you want to have, right? So basically if you say the ambient lights, what ambient light will be doing, so ambient light will have those passes specifically. So you can just drag and drop like that, and it says ambient fill light. Ambient fill light will have what, it will be having like RGB. So it will go for RGB, it will go for like specular. So ambient light will have all the AOVs like that. So you can kind of making a group of things. Okay, so what I did was like, you can easily find out here each and every light having uh, a group. So like main light having a group, right? This light having a group. So every single light having sort of groups, right? And throughout those you are actually making all the different AOVs, right? So you can add you can just select any of these lights and you just add it, and that will create your light groups. And here you can see the scene lights, all right? So you can do whatever what light you want to add to that particular group, right? So this is very much easy, and very easy to access, you can say, and very easy to export your files, right? Your passes. So if you see this scene, and I have done the same and similar stuff with this thing. So let me just show you. You see the same thing is here as well. So if you go for this arbitrary output, so now you can see with those groups that I have created here. Okay, so main light, in main light, what are the lights as you are using as a main light? So main light is basically key light that I have named it main light. But so suppose if you are using main light, I mean key light, in two variants. So like you can use it for two light, with two light you can create a key light, right? So you just drag those two lights into this particular group. Okay, so this is how you can go for like FG light. FG light can be having like two, three, or four or more lights over there. So that is a FG light group. So you just create that group, something like that. So now with that particular thing, what you can do, you have all the light groups here. All right, you see this? So basically what I am actually using it like a main light, and here inside of main light, what are the passes you need? So like I need albedo. Now albedo is a pass which is actually giving you the color. Okay, so if I make you understand, like let's say I'm just going to make it standard, and I'll be making it flat color. So this is what you will be having as a albedo, right? So whatever the light is, it really doesn't matter. The albedo will be all same for the time, right? So Next, what I did, I said, okay, so I need the direct, I need specular direct, I need triple S. Triple S is basically subsurface scattering. The subsurface scattering, let me just explain it to you. For subsurface scattering, you will see that the leaves or your skin has a particular parameter to absorb lights, right? So if you put your light in on your hand, you can see, so in certain area the light is getting scattered, okay, with red. Basically our blood color is red, so the color will be red, and it's been scattered in certain area. So that absorption of the light, that property is called subsurface scattering. So in tree leaves and all, they that particular object is actually having those you know properties, right? So I need that subsurface scattering as a direct and indirect. So indirect is basically uh the bounce light. Okay, so if I'm putting or throwing any light to anywhere, that light will hit on particular wall or something, whatever it is. So that will hit, and it will bounce out, right? It will bounce a little bit, so that bounce light is called indirect, right? Then specular indirect is also there. So what next is the main light back to, because I used key light, two, there is two lights which is actually playing the role of key light, right? So I'm having both here. Here I only use the direct, specular direct, and the triple S direct. I didn't use that. So that is kind of a call that you need to take, what passes you need, or what look you want to have. So on based on that particular decision, you want to make you want to make the decide to, like, what passes need to be there for the light, right? And my personal opinion is that you need to actually you need to bake all the passes according to the light. I'm not no, very big fan of that. All the passes should be there with all the lights. No, you just break it into a part with different lights, right? You will be having a lot of control while you are doing compositing. So what I did was that, so FG light having those, BG light having those, and ambient light and all things. Data I use like normal, Z depth, alpha, and position. Now these things, I'm not saying that you need to render it out, but for compositing perspective, I would say let it be there. uh, you won't know that it will be huge useful thing, or in certain cases there is no uses of it, but in certain cases it's a lifesaver, right? So I do use normal and position for rendering, but it depends upon the compositing aspect, I will use it or not, so that's a different question. The next one is crypto. By the way, crypto doesn't work like that. Okay. Uh, I use it here, but you need to go, and definitely you need to check this here. So like the map, the crypto map should be here. Otherwise, it not going to be rendered out here, right? So these are the things that you need to carry forward, right? So next is VG Lite. I did the same. Everything is the same unless the AOV, which is something called emission. Now, emission is something which is, you know, a self illumination sort of material. If you are having there anything like that, so definitely you need to have this emission. But why I separated it? Because it really doesn't, working under any lights over there. So it doesn't matter it is under any light group or not. You can just make it separate. One thing that you can easily find out that every single type of passes is EXR, and I do believe this is the best that you can get for compositing. And there is something called deep EXR that is not that will not be covered into this particular series, because deep is a kind of a separate separate kind of a technique that you might go for. If you want to have that also as a tutorial, so please comment down below, I'll be putting another one, right? So so you can easily see that what light group is having where, right? So this is kind of a preset that you should go for, and you should make for your scenes like that, and you will be getting a proper passes and all, right? So in this particular tutorial or the part, I have explained the passes that I actually rendered out, and how I did it, and how you should go for breaking up the passes with the lights system, because the lights are basically you just need to differentiate those passes with different lights. Do not make it you know uh, an overall thing, like overall passes together with all the lights and all. Don't do it. That obviously this is I'm saying it for the beginners. B- Experienced guys are well known with this particular technique. So definitely do check out my the next tutorial, where I'll be explaining all the different passes, why we use that. And in third part, I'll be explaining all the setup for the compositing, like how we build up step by step, and how we grade it out, and how we make a particular look for a scene, right? And see you in next part. Bye bye.